This happened over 25 years ago, but the memories are still fresh on my mind. I moved in with my boyfriend, who was a musician, and I wasn't working at the time. Our budget was small, so when we were offered super cheap rent for our house, we jumped at the opportunity. It should have been a red flag at the time, but we were in no position to refuse. It was far from the city center. We had almost no furniture and lived quite the frugal life. But we were happy to have our own space. The house was simple but cozy and nice, and there was another room in the backyard with no windows, but only a chair right in the middle of it. Needless to say, it was super creepy, so I avoided that part of the house. While my boyfriend was working all day in a music school, I took care of the house. In the beginning, everything was fine. I felt happy there, but after a few weeks, weird things started happening. One day, I put some of the cans and ingredients on the kitchen table while I was cooking. However, when I turned around to grab them, they weren't there. At first, I just thought that I had forgotten to pick them up from the shelves. But when cans and knives started showing up in random places in the house, like the bedroom, I started paying more attention. My boyfriend also experienced the same things, and whenever he found the missing items, he just laughed about it. However, things started to change and took a turn for the worse when we decided to clean the backyard. We cut the grass, threw away the trash, and decided to move the chair in the middle of the room. So my boyfriend picked it up and left it in front of the house to be collected. He told me that he felt sick the moment he entered that room. I thought he was overreacting, but when I entered it, I immediately felt a heavy weight on my chest and a piercing headache. However, everything would be fine again once we left that area. It was scary, so we went to a local church, got some holy water and salt from the priest, and cleaned the room. We thought that everything would be okay now. My boyfriend had to leave for work, and I continued cleaning inside the house. But I didn't feel calm and perky as I usually did, because I constantly had the feeling that someone was watching me. I even checked the doors and windows to see if there was anyone around, but no one was there. And I still felt uncomfortable and was paranoid all day. When my boyfriend returned home in the evening, we started hearing noises coming from outside. This area was kind of dangerous, especially at night, so my boyfriend was super careful when going outside. He thought that it could be a robbery. Everything was alright, except for the fact that the chair was back inside the room. It was in the same place as before, so he got really mad when he saw it, thinking that some punk was playing a trick on us. He went outside and decided to grab the chair, break it, and throw it away. But I could see the panic on his face when he couldn't move the chair. For whatever reason, it was completely fixed to the ground. Not like it was glued to the floor, but more like it weighed 10 tons. No matter how hard he tried. Because he had to come up with another plan, he ran inside, grabbed holy water and salt, made a circle around the chair, and started praying. Suddenly, we heard a loud bang. Thousands, maybe millions of cockroaches started coming out of every sewer hole outside of the house. I am terribly terrified of cockroaches, so I guess this was my worst nightmare. He left the chair and we rushed inside the house. And after we checked everywhere in the house, we locked all the doors and windows, and then ran away to my mom's house. As the incident happened on a Friday evening, we decided to stay at her house until Sunday to calm down. On Sunday afternoon, we returned home and everything felt normal. There were no traces of insects around, and the chair was still in its place, but the house seemed quiet. We started relaxing a bit, and as I had just refilled the fridge on Friday with groceries, I decided to start cooking something nice for dinner. However, when I opened the fridge, I saw an image I will never forget. All the food was full of maggots, and it was almost completely decomposed. The smell was horrible inside. I have never seen anything like it before. I mean, the fridge was still on and seemed to be working, but the food was not frozen, and this level of decomposition could not be reached in less than 48 hours. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I screamed and showed it to my boyfriend, who also couldn't understand what happened, but there was nothing we could do with the food or the fridge. Later, we finally decided to give the house back, and we moved out to another city. And fortunately, I've never experienced anything like that again. But that incident still gives me the chills.